This is the true joy in life, being used for a purpose, recognized by yourself as a mighty one, being a force of nature instead of a feverish, selfish little clod of ailments and grievances, complaining that the world will not devote itself to making you happy. I am of the opinion that my life belongs to the whole community, and as long as I live, it is my privilege to do for it what I can. It is a sort of splendid torch, which I have got hold of for the moment, and I want to make it burn as brightly as possible before handing it on to future generations. A government that robs Peter to pay Paul can always depend on the support of Paul. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable, but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. A socialist is somebody who doesn't have anything and is ready to divide it up equally among everybody. Beware of false knowledge. It is more dangerous than ignorance. Both optimists and pessimists contribute to society. The optimist invents the airplane, the pessimist, the parachute. Choose silence of all virtues, for by it you hear other men's imperfections and conceal your own. Don't lose faith. Promise yourself that you will be a success story, and I promise you that all the forces of the universe will unite to come to your aid. You might not feel it today or for a while, but the longer you wait, the bigger the prize. He knows nothing and thinks he knows everything. That points clearly to a political career. I learned long ago never to wrestle with a pig. You get dirty, and besides, the pig likes it. If at age 20 you are not a communist, then you have no heart. If at age 30 you are not a capitalist, then you have no brains. If you begin by sacrificing yourself to those you love, you will end by hating those to whom you have sacrificed yourself. It is not enough to know what is good. You must be able to do it. It is the first duty of every man not to be poor. Just do what must be done. This may not be happiness, but it is greatness. Liberty means responsibility. That is why most men dread it. Life is a first draft, with no rewrite. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Man's inhumanity to man is only surpassed by his cruelty to animals. Most people do not pray, they only beg. No diet will remove all the fat from your body because the brain is entirely fat. Without a brain, you might look good, but all you could do is run for public office. Now that we have learned to fly the air like birds, swim underwater like fish, we lack one thing to learn to live on Earth as human beings. Old men are dangerous. It doesn't matter to them what is going to happen to the world. Our lives are shaped not as much by our experiences as by our expectations. Our necessities are few, but our wants are endless. Our prejudices are so deeply rooted that we never think of them as prejudices, but call them common sense. People become attached to their burdens sometimes more than the burdens are attached to them. People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Silence is the most perfect expression of scorn. Some people look at the world and say, why? Some people look at the world and say, why not? Success does not consist in never making mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. Take care to get what you like, or you will be forced to like what you get. The longer I live, the more convinced am I that this planet is used by other planets as a lunatic asylum. The moment we want to believe something, we suddenly see all the arguments for it and become blind to the arguments against it. The only person who acts sensibly is my tailor. He takes my measure anew every time he sees me. Everyone else goes by their old measurements. The only time my education was interrupted was when I was in school. The person I miss most is the one I could have been. The possibilities are numerous once we decide to act and not react. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. The secret to success is to offend the greatest number of people. The test of a man or woman's breeding is how they behave in a quarrel. The things most people want to know about are usually none of their business. The truth is the one thing that nobody will believe.